here at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery. With us is the owners. We have Ruthie Tucker, Ruthie, and Sir Alton Lewis, Amsterdam the
Ambassador.
Ambassador. And tell us a little bit what we can expect tonight.
Kristal, first of all, we would like to thank our golden goddess of Chelsea, Miss Kristal Hart, for being here and honoring us at our Moulin Rouge Fete. Amsterdam Whitney Gallery is located in the heart of Chelsea at West 25th Street. We're thrilled to have Kristal here interviewing our national and international artists. They are from all over the world. We feature abstract art. We feature figurative. We feature landscape. We feature the nude. We feature portraits of women. We feature pop art. We feature sculpture. We feature beautiful floral work. And Kristal Hart has a connoisseur's eye in always knowing and discerning the best art that is here in Chelsea at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery.
And it is very colorful and Ambassador, a few words for our audience.
Well, we're just delighted to have everyone here. The Moulin Rouge theme is exciting. It gets everyone in the mood. It really does. Costumes, and sometimes not costumes, but people's regular dress attire like myself. But please come by, take a look. We have contemporary masters work here, emerging contemporary masters work here, and a wonderful assemblage of guests and VIPs and dignitaries and artists. So we're just welcoming everyone here tonight, and we thank our beloved Kristal for making all this possible. God bless her.
Thank you.
Dearest, my beloved wife, you run a gallery like no one else does, and I know it's true, believe me. How many years? We'll talk about that later.
And now we're going to take a walk around and look at some of the art.
Wonderful. God bless you.
With us is Deanna Kienast. And Deanna, where are you from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, so you've come a long way.
It was worth it. Love being here. I love the gallery, but we love New York.
Oh, and your work I see behind me. Tell me first of all your philosophy on art and your work.
I think my work is happy. It's always upbeat, and I describe it about mood and energy. I always hear the word that it's very strong and vivid, but again, I think it's about the mood of the art.
And have you formally studied, or?
No, I'm self-taught. I've been painting for 8 years. I found that I love marketing as much as painting, and I have sold and installed over 600 paintings.
And tell me some of your themes here tonight.
This was just a theme of joy. I've got one titled Bloom, one's titled Standing Ovation, and one called Foundation, which I think we all build from. And then I have a cluster of small paintings that we call Gallery. And so just a very upbeat theme.
Okay. Now this first one behind me, could you tell me about that painting?
This one I think is a little bit stronger. It's called Foundation, and there is some 14-karat gold in the bottom of the painting, kind of blocks to depict something of strength that you're going to build from. And lush colors. Goes from reds to some eggplants to all colors of gold. And like I said, this is a series that's been very, very well received.
And the next one?
The next one is the cluster of 5-inch paintings that I called Gallery. And these people love, they come buy them individually or to hang in rows, and they're just what I call fun art. A lot of people put them on shelves, and especially where we are truly oversized on everything in Dallas, where we have big art. But in secondary rooms and certainly the wonderful spaces in New York, you can still have lots of color and original art with these little paintings put together.
I love color, by the way.
Good, good.
And after that?
Then we have the one that I titled Bloom. And I just think looking at it, you kind of core on the center of the painting, and things are just, anything positive is blooming out of it. I also I always think all of the great colors come from the earth. So to me, it could even be like the eruption from the soil.
And then the last one?
The last one is called Standing Ovation. And it just looks to me like all of these colors are standing with their arms up, yelling, "You did it."
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
very much.
and welcome to New York City.
Oh,
Are you
thank
having
you.
a
Fabulous
wonderful
time. Every time we come, we love it.
There's no
Love
city
it.
like it, right?
No, none.
With us is Paul Kentz, and Paul, where did you travel from to be at the Amsterdam Whitney Gallery?
Oh, I come Astoria, Queens.
Oh, okay, nice and local. Now,
you.
Paul, tell me a little bit about your work.
Well, I specialize in the New York scene. I'm a New York artist, and I just react to life. I describe myself as a pictorial journalist, and I just go with the flow. I look for events that are happening, like Thanksgiving Day Parade or whatever, and I
That's
show
coming
up.
up.
Yes, and I just make my paintings.
So tell me a little bit about this first painting. I see Mickey Mouse or
Yes.
Minnie Mouse.
Yes, this is the building that behind it is part of the Rockefeller Center complex. It's the International Building, and if you notice all four paintings, everyone has at least a camera phone or smartphone. It's a sign of modernity because I'm a realist painter. You know, I want to show some immediacy, some now, if you will. Like a landscape doesn't change much over the century, but if you see somebody with a cell phone, you know it can't be 1920 or 1820. It's probably 2014.
Okay. So then right behind me we see...
Aphrodite and the Three Graces. This is at the Met, and it's sort of a play on classical beauty, and I have some contemporary beauty. You have the girls here. You say a juxtaposition of then and now. The Three Graces were Aphrodite's handmaidens.
Next one?
Yeah, this is the Museum of Natural History, American Museum of Natural History. That's a mastodon. And if you notice, I sort of repeated the shape of the tusk coming out with the ladies holding the phones. You see, there's sort of some harmony there, some rhythm.
And then that last one, I see Fifth Avenue.
Right. Another young lady with a phone taking a picture, and they really beautified that area. Right? It's around the Flatiron Building, and they really did a nice job.
And then to end this, I see here a book. Could you tell us about this?
Yes, I collaborated with the gallery for this, and I was fortunate about 2 years ago to get 5 copies in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Nolan Library. There's 5 there. So I'm in the Met.
And it is called...
Yeah, Views and Vignettes, Glimpses of New York Life by Paul Kentz.
Here at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery, Luciana?
Yes,
Pampalone?
correct. Yes.
Oh, and tell me about your photographer, fashion photographer.
Mostly
That is like the job that everybody would want in New York City. Could you tell me about your photographs?
Well, my photographs, these photographs are not necessarily my fashion photographs, but these are more representational of what I do for my own fine art, for what I do for myself. And they're more representational of women and just pictures of their sensuality and bringing that. I don't think that women are really photographed this way by other women. They're mostly photographed by men. And my influence, I think, would be Helmut Newton and Terry Rogers, who's a painter. So you'll see that kind of influence throughout the work. And this is my personal work that I do for myself. This is not what I do for clients. This is what I do for myself.
So how do you feel that men photograph women differently?
It's different in the way that I think the women have a more sensual approach to the photography than the men. It's more in your face. This is not in your face. This is more sensual.
No, I know. I think I know exactly what you mean. I know when I'm editing, sometimes the guys will just pick out something. And I'm like, why did you pick out that photo?
This is much
because
more subtle
I'm
and
more, you know.
Because I'm a woman, so it's much more representational and self-representational. That's what it's. basically about.
And then tell us a little bit about fashion.
Exactly. There's a fashion edge to it as well. There's a little bit of fashion.
And your career in fashion?
Yes. It's been many years, 25 years in fashion. For magazines, for advertising.
Now I see back here a young lady in a bathtub. Could you tell us a little bit about that painting?
It's
not a painting, a photograph.
Right. That's a very good friend of mine. She's become my muse. She's a very creative person as well. Her name is Margot Manhattan, and she's here tonight as well. And we were traveling together, and I just got inspired by this bathtub, and I said, please, let me take a picture of you, and we decided to shoot. So that's the inspiration. We were traveling, and she jumped in the bathtub.
and then now the next one now.
The stockings, yes, that was in bed.
Oh, okay.
That's more intimate. That was in bed, and beautiful, sexy legs, beautiful legs. And this is another one on a rooftop in New York City, and that's on a piano. Another. I call that the Dark Angel, and she's on the piano.
And then, it looks like some cocktails.
Yes, that's exactly.
Cocktail time.
I know, that's called Good Times.
And then that next one's
and The Lover. The Lover is over there. I shot that in Scotland, and everybody has usually had 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 breakups in their lives, and that is representational of that. I must have been breaking up with somebody at that point when I shot that.
I love the canopy.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, I love that canopy. And then that very last one.
The triangle one. The triangle. I just thought it was beautiful shapes. And shapes and forms.
And what's next for you?
What's next? That's a good question. I would love to do a book. Maybe put a book together with these pictures.
Yes, I think
definitely.
So.
Definitely.
Well, you'll have to keep in touch with us and let us know.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here at Amsterdam Whitney Art Gallery.
Thank you very much.
All the way from Cleveland, Ohio, which is very close to me because I'm in Warren, Ohio. Not very far. Hey, are you a Cleveland Browns fan by chance?
Absolutely.
Go Browns. And this is Tricia Commons. Tricia, now tell me a little bit about what inspires you.
People, individuals. I love to do portraiture and figurative painting best. Tell the story about people.
About people. And tell me, how long have you been painting?
Since 1974, professionally. Before that, I was painting in kindergarten, of course.
So you've always painted. What are some of the changes, maybe, that you've gone through with your work?
The changes would be that I've tried more challenging setups through the decades.
And now I see you have 7 paintings here, and they're women, all women?
These happen to be a collection of paintings of women in kimonos and robes, because I love the robed figure.
And now this first one.
That's my best friend, Mary. And she brought her own robe to the studio, and we tried a couple other things on, but the colors she came in with were the best.
And the next one, I see green. That's the color of my eyes. I love green.
Right. Well, that's a robe that I had collected from a shop in Canada, and I have a collection of kimonos now. So this model is a professional model, and she came to my studio to model personally for me for this series. And I work entirely from life, meaning that I don't work from photographs, but from observation.
And then the next one?
The next is Kathy and her cat named Sunshine. This one was one that I had done several decades ago, and that was the beginning of my interest in showing the figure with the robe. And I think I did that one in the 80s.
And you say that you don't work from a photograph. It's not like you take a photograph, you don't work from a photograph?
I don't. It's all from being in the presence of the person who I am portraying and looking at the colors as the light strikes them very naturally. And it gives me a sense of who they are and what they're about. And there's an interaction between the model and the artist as well.
Interesting. Then after that,
then there are two models. She's a professional model, Janice. She brought her own collection of kimonos, and I portrayed her in two different kimonos. One is called Memoirs, and the other is Janice in a red kimono. She really inspired me to continue with this theme.
And next?
Next, two very opposite individuals. One is very extroverted, the other's introverted. Two people that I know that I happen to put together to do a compare and a contrast. Not only physically, but temperamentally, they're very opposite. So I show them on opposite ends of a couch, looking at each other.
Talking about temperament, what type of temperament works best with your art?
Ooh, I like all kinds of temperaments.
You give something different from each one.
That's right, and that's what I like to draw out, that individuality. Each soul is so unique and beautiful.
Do the models need to keep coming back till you finish it? Or?
They do. They'll come back over a series of 5 or 6 sessions together.
Oh.
So it's over a stretch of time.
Over a stretch of time. Mm-hmm. That's a commitment then. With
it is.
You and your model.
And they have to be interested in enough to spend the time. They also make an investment in the work.
Yes.
So it's reciprocal. Yeah. And that's what I like to have come through the work.
All the way from Paris, France. I'm going to let you say your name.
Benedicte Jarosz.
That's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
How are you enjoying New York City?
Oh yeah, I do enjoy the city. New York is so amazing and gorgeous. And to be very honest with you, I'm very, very proud to be here today.
It sort of parallels Paris, doesn't it? Or
yeah.
Paris parallels New York a little bit, or a smaller version? Or?
Yeah, a smaller version. But in the meantime, the opportunity to have the melting pot between the cultures, all the monuments, museums, buildings, and so on. So I like to make the bridge between the two cities. Yeah.
And now tell me about your canvas and what inspires you to paint, or is it moods or light or?
My mood is very, very on a positive way. I mean, I would like really to express a lot of emotions and feelings. So I do enjoy stretching my canvas because I would like to have more and more exhibitions and, of course, expressionist art and abstract art because I would like to make the bridge between all the opportunity of happiness and in the meantime, unfortunately, all the obstacles and all the hurts we can have in our lives. So it means that we need really to express this in my canvas.
A lot of feelings, it sounds like there.
Yeah, positive feelings with red, with gold, with silver, and a mix with some stones, with some sand, because I really would like to have a 3D in my different arts, because artworks for me mean, of course, life and living something. So of course it means that we have some earths, we have some scratching, some textures, very specific, like your skin, like your heart, like your blood. Yeah.
Now this first one over with the gray.
Yeah.
Tell me about that one.
This one is linked to a poetry because in France we have a famous poet called Arthur Rimbaud, and one of his famous poetry is linked to the blood, the war, and unfortunately the death of the GI in the snow. That's the reason why I've called this specific painting Earthed in the Winter. Because unfortunately he died, but he is really embraced by the snow. That's the reason why you have the feeling and the mixture of the gray, the white, and the red, pink.
And now right behind us?
Behind us is more a graffiti wall because year after year you can of course embrace and emphasize other feelings. So you have a split and you have the sum, the amount of different adventures, different opportunities, different meetings. So you have some good feelings with them, so positive and lovely and kindly colors, but in the meantime you have been hurted or you handled some obstacles and it was a little bit difficult to manage. Yeah.
And then this last one, red and white. I love red and white.
Yeah, red and white because it is called 100% heart from blood. Because I would like really to exhibit all the power of love, of red, and in the meantime the link between love and blood. Because of course on one hand it's very, very on a positive way in the abstract part, but unfortunately you know that you can have an hand and the end is not the end of being with somebody, but unfortunately the end of a story. So yeah, it's part of my emotions when I've done it.
With us is Cora Cronemeyer. And Cora, tell me a little bit about, I guess, your inspiration, your philosophy on painting.
Well, I want people to see what I see and see it the way I see it. I have an opinion about this, for instance. This is all about climate change, actually. That's why I wrote, "May this area never be flooded."
And what do you think about climate control?
If we keep on burning fossil fuel, that'll heat up the air and melt the polar ice caps. Maybe not within my lifetime, but certainly within the lifetime of our children.
So you're somewhat of an activist.
Yes, I am.
So now we have the painting, the far one right down there.
That's Parent and Offspring. That was done in 1977. I was very preoccupied during that year with my mother, and so I did quite a few mother-daughter paintings. And as you can see, they're mother and daughter, but each has her own agenda.
That's sort of typical.
Yes, because it is. I think both she and I have said to each other, I have my own life to live.
And now I see some leaves.
Leaves. I did those in 1993. I collected a lot of leaves going up Central Park West and also going up Fifth Avenue. And I cut them out. I traced them on large sheets of bond paper and cut them out and put them and use them in different paintings. Some of them I made look transparent, as I did with these, for instance.
And then the next one?
Odd One Out. Well, that's a rather sad painting because the blue one in that painting is envious of the pink two and the orange two.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And you're originally from, you said, Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
But you live here now, in New York?
Yes, I've lived here ever since 1964. I stayed in Washington just long enough to vote in my first presidential election. That was the first year Washingtonians were permitted to vote in a presidential election.
Oh, okay. And who won that election?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Okay, well, this is some wonderful work, and we need more. We need artists like you to keep making people aware of things like their environment and the different elements around them. With this is C, and C, you're from Canada?
Yes, Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And I see, this wonderful work. Tell me, this first one, horses and nature. Tell me a little bit about what you paint.
I do I have many different styles. This horse, it has a chain on him, so it's representing he's breaking through and running towards to the freedom. This painting here, it's we had a really cold winter last year in Toronto. So one day I just I need to paint something blue and green. So I painted this painting. It's called Wanna Go Camping. Yeah. And I also do a series of laundries from different countries' backgrounds. So that one I have there, it's actually China, Shanghai, the old houses in China. So that's the background to it. Yeah. So I have various different things that sometimes even a pile of wasted broken tire or things that I find it really beautiful, then I just paint, yeah.
And what motivates you?
My kids, I paint with them, and I express myself, and just meeting with different people, and to listen to how much they love my painting. So that really gave me the big boost to paint, yeah.
And tell me a little bit about Canada. Are there horses around you? Is that how you
lots of nature and horses. This is very close to Canada. Like if you look at it, it's like pine trees and lakes. We have many lakes, and it's gorgeous nature. Yeah.
Nature?
Yeah. It's very beautiful. Basically, I like to remind people sometimes, even things that are broken or that you see every day, like the laundry, there's always a beauty in things that happens around you. So just pay more attention to everyday things. Yeah.
Okay, so you have a positivity to your paintings.
Yeah. Everything is happy.
It's been colorful, paintings, photography. We're here at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery with co-owner Ruthie Tucker.
And we thank the golden Kristal Hart, the goddess of Chelsea, for filming our wonderful Moulin Rouge Fest with our fabulous artists from all over the world. Amsterdam Whitney Gallery boasts more stars than there are in heaven. Thank you, Kristal Hart. God bless you.
And everybody must come down at Amsterdam Whitney Gallery. Give them the address.
In Chelsea, 511 West 25th Street, between 10th and 11th Avenues, on a prime street in Chelsea that reverberates with the best art in the world. Thank you again, Kristal.
And this is the heart of the art world.